Hello and welcome to the MJ Take here for my spoiler review of Creed 3. That is right, I saw it last night, Wednesday night. AMC was having some early Wednesday screenings. Why? To be honest with you, I don't really know. I don't know what's the point of having early screenings one day early from Wednesday to Thursday. Now, luckily for them, I had nothing else to do. So I figured, well, okay, I'm looking forward to it. I have nothing to do this Wednesday night. So let me just go ahead and see it a night early, get my review out there a night early. Here is my spoiler review for Creed 3. And I must say, I'm very impressed with the directorial debut of Michael B. Jordan. He really swung for the fences on this one, and I'm really not sure what happened with Sly Stallone and why he wasn't involved in this. So I really think it went more. Apparently, it was like creative versus quote unquote. Whereas I think he just wanted more money. I think he still wants more money from this franchise, considering the fact that he had to sell off so much of it in order to make the first Rocky film. They never really got the rights to this franchise that he feels like he deserves, and all the money that he feels like he deserves from this franchise at this point. But I mean, if we're talking just creatively in terms of him directing or in terms of the story or the script, I don't think so. I just can't believe that Sylvester Stallone left this film, because this was ultimately a very strong film in the Rocky franchise, a strong addition to the Creed part of the franchise, and in my opinion, the second best Creed movie. It's still behind Creed 1 to me definitively, but they are different movies. I think what you're dealing with here, and I think this is a very smart play, and I think it's going to do very well in the box office because of it, is really kind of a spectacle, a real fight, a real juggernaut brawl between Michael B. Jordan and Jonathan Majors and their characters. I mean, I'm seeing people that were not interested in the first two films now showing up because they're seeing Jonathan Majors in his rise as now playing King the Conqueror in the MCU, rise as an actor in Hollywood, saying, wait a minute, now we're having these two huge young actors battling it off, and it just seems like an epic, gritty story. Yeah, 100%. Whereas Creed 1 was really an emotional story following, Adonis Creed and everything that he had gone through, really more intimate between him and Tessa Thompson's character, Bianca, who, by the way, and you saw a lot of that intimacy here too, and I really thought their chemistry continues to grow. I think I love that they went into their relationship dynamics and really exposed. I mean, I felt like I was down here for a second, because let me tell you, your boy can shut down whenever he's dating someone and she asks him how I'm really feeling. I don't want to tell women how I'm feeling. I want to just deal with it. I don't want to talk about it. So I was like, I can relate here. I've had these relationship issues in the past, and I have them today. So I was like, I'm feeling this. I'm understanding this. So great dynamics there. But again, I think they wanted this to just to be a big fight and a big battle, and that's really what it was. That's what it's been billed as. That's what it's been hyped as with the trailers and the marketing campaign that's focused on. And from that aspect, it 100% paid off. And now let's go into Jonathan Majors. And this guy continues to kill it. Now, what is it now? 2 or 3 weeks to 2 weeks since Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania came out. And a lot of us were disappointed by that movie. Not disappointed by his performance, but disappointed by that movie. Here, he stepped it up. Now, I think he had a better story here, and I'd argue a better script here, which allowed him to step it up. But again, man, this guy continues to kill it on screen. A true thespian, a true actor. I mean, this guy's acting is incredible. I mean, I don't think you'd be hard pressed to find 5 actors in all of Hollywood that could have played this character, Dave Anderson, better than how Jonathan Majors played it. When he first arrived on the scene, there was this subtle shyness and awkwardness that he was conveying so beautifully, so effectively between him and Donnie's character, Michael B. Jordan's character, Donnie, that it was palpable. I mean, and we already knew that like there was going to be some background that somehow I knew Donnie was going to be involved in getting him in prison. I feel like that was very transparent from the marketing campaign. But despite us knowing that, and just obviously, being able to see that, Jonathan Majors is conveying this. Not saying anything, even before he starts acting sinister. Obviously, when he's talking to Bianca at the party, he's now being a bit sinister, a bit manipulative. But when he first starts up on scene, you actually think he's being genuine. You think he's being genuine, that he's approaching Donnie genuinely, even though this movie's going to end with them in a boxing match for the championship or whatever. Even though that's where it's going. You felt a genuine earnest I guess attitude from his performance, it was beautiful. I was like, how could you not give this guy a chance? How could you not reach out and let this guy join your team? And then as you slowly start to see him unravel, he does such a great job there. And I was worried for Michael B. Jordan for the first third of this movie because even into maybe even into the middle of the movie, because I'm like, dude, you're getting out acted. I mean, I know you wanted to cast somebody that you felt was an equivalent, but you're getting out acted and outshining your own movie. Now, by the end, especially when you're talking about, the relationship struggles between him and Bianca, and then, his mother's death. Then Michael B. Jordan really came out, his emotions during the trailer, during the training montage, and then ultimately the end of the movie. By then, he kills it. Now, Mage is still slightly overperformed it, but definitely did not outshout him. These are two men that were definitely on the same playing field for the most part. I mean, Mage is still, to me, if you're talking about like a 9.5 versus like an 8.5, but hey, we'll take an 8.5 from Michael B. Jordan. But wow, Jonathan Majors, this guy, and I can't wait to see his movie Magazine Dreams, the movie in which he depicts a bodybuilder and what performance is going on there. Don't know when it's going to be released, but I can't wait to see it whenever it is released. So great performance by those two men. Tessa Thompson has less to do here as Bianca, which is a little unfortunate. Now, I'm not really sure where this franchise is going, because at this point, I feel as if I would have attempted to just write a trilogy here. I guess they're going to try for 5. Okay. Don't know what you're going to do for 4 and 5. I'm interested. I think Dame is a character that can be around in 4 and 5, not as an adversary, as somewhat of an ally, somewhat of a Adonis Creed to, Michael B. Jordan or Donnie's, Rocky Balboa in that sort of comparison. I think there's something there. But I do want us to now, there should be an end goal here. And people are theorizing that, it could lead into Creed now raising his daughter to become a fighter. We might go into that. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I would be there for that. I don't know how much of a mainstream audience there is for a movie around a female boxer, or if you want to do MMA fighting with that. I don't know how much of an audience there is for that. I think you'd lose a lot of the audience. I mean, I think at least 30% of the audience, to be honest with you. I just don't know how much. It would depend who you cast and what the story is. But that could be an aspect, but I really think they need to now round this out. I mean, ending with 4 films is fine. They're going to have to make another one. It's already going to be the best of the franchise box office-wise, and they all make money in terms of their budget, so they need to make another one. But begin to round out the story. What is going to be the final evolution of Adonis Creed and his character? Maybe only one more. Maybe Michael B. Jordan wants to do one more. But how you tie it, the one problem is, especially now that Rocky and Sly Stallone was not in there, Sly Stallone, what is the point? I mean, look, the point is following Adonis Creed and his character. But what is the overall theme and arc of this franchise that makes it unique? I don't see that. So that's a little frustrating, especially when you're following these films and they have so many. I want to see that come into fruition over the next couple of next couple of films for sure before they have this franchise. And maybe they make more spinoffs. I don't know. Maybe Drago gets a spinoff, for God's sake. Who knows? By the way, I liked Drago in this movie. He seems to be growing as an actor like that. I liked whoever played the I can't remember his name already, but the Hispanic box as well. I thought he did a good job. I thought this was very well acted. Now, a couple criticisms that I do have. I thought the Felicia Rashad death scene was a little too preposterous. I don't think it worked. I think in order to make it work, you could have slowed it down a little bit. Her being delusional in her last moments felt honestly ridiculous. It felt so ridiculous to me. It did not work for me at all. And that really took me out of the movie. Some people had a criticism of the final fight. And, you go into what essentially are dream sequences, directorially speaking, of Dame and Donnie in the ring. Now, I was fine with it until it got a little fantastical. Them shutting out the crowd, I was like, oh, this is an interesting choice, but I like this. And then just focusing on the 2 men. Then you had like the jail wall come up, and I was like, okay, now this is a little weird. It's a little out there. It definitely was a bold choice from Michael B. Jordan, who referenced a lot of anime that he wanted to, call from in this film. And you see that definitely, taking its place here. Definitely thought that was a little bit of a strong choice and an odd choice. Overall, though, like the predictability of some of the plot, I mean, because again, we know where it's going. I mean, if you see the trailer, you've already seen 80% of the movie, 85. So that's just a natural problem here. But I think we could have made a little bit of a more intriguing plot in terms of how we get there. I mean, look, we all know, even though we're living in a day and age where Logan Paul can get a exhibition match, by the way, exhibition against Floyd Mayweather, we are living in that world. How we got here, and in terms of the setup, was a little weak. And I kind of struggle because I feel like I could potentially give this movie like an 8.5 plus 9 if we had a little more time, to build Dave as an in-ring boxer himself and really have a lead up to his ascension instead of just, oh, all of a sudden he beats, this this champion boxer, and now he's number one, and now they're feuding, and now let's advance the plot and now we're just gonna fight each other, and they fight each other. It's a very good fight, and I loved how that fight was directed and how all these fights are directed. The first one felt a little awkward though. The first fight felt a little awkward. You just settling into the movie, and then it was just shot really odd. It felt very fake, the first fight. The other ones were very good. Even though the last one was a little fantastical, I thought they were very hard-hitting, very good, and displayed box pretty well. I don't know what it was, just the lighting in the first one that was very awkward to me. But, some of the predictable plot points I had a problem with, just to let's advance the plot, let's get there. But it was very enjoyable. I think it was a very enjoyable movie in a time where there haven't been many movies to enjoy lately. But now we're coming up on March, and there are more enjoyable movies coming out. I mean, there's a great movie to watch with your girl, and to, kick back and have a good time. Just make sure she doesn't look at Jonathan Majors or Michael B. Jordan too much. And if you don't feel insecure about your body now, you certainly will after watching this movie. Overall, I give it the MJ score of 7.5 out of 10. Definitely recommend for anyone interested in the source material. Until next time, this has been MJ of the MJ Take, and I'm out. See you all later.